This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Friday, the 6th day of October in the year 2023. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. The Ministry of Natural Resources has laid full blame for the oil audit controversy at the feet of the head of the petroleum unit, Bobby Gosai, and he's now expected to face disciplinary action. The controversy erupted after information became known that the Ministry of Natural Resources, through the petroleum unit, had slashed the $214 million in questionable oil costs to just over $3 million. It was the Guyana Revenue Authority in its audit that flagged the $214 million that Exxon was claiming. The reduction was reportedly done after a meeting between Exxon and the petroleum unit head. In laying blame at the head of the petroleum unit for the massive reduction in questionable expenses, Minister of Natural Resources Vikram Barrett, in a late-night statement last night, said it was the head of the petroleum unit, Bobby Gosai, who advised on the reduction.
However, based on advice from Mr. Gopinath Gosai, that the initial claim of US $214,911,994 was reduced to US $3,414,853. I wrote the Guyana Revenue Authority on the 28th of November 2022 to confirm this figure by seeking a no objection. As recent as July 2023, Mr. Gosai, in a meeting with the Vice President Barra Jagdeo and I, reported that the initial sum was reduced to US $11,497,000, then further down to US $3,414,853. Given that I had written the Guyana Revenue Authority since November 2022, and it was established that the Guyana Revenue Authority GRA's involvement is necessary to finalize the audit, I was under the impression that the reduced figure was done in collaboration with the GRA.
Minister Barrett said the position of the government of Guyana remains consistent with its original position, that the only authority to make a final determination is the Guyana Revenue Authority. According to the minister, examining all the facts, it is clear that Mr. Gosai acted without the requisite authorization to engage with the oil company and provide inadequate advice.
I wish to restate that the position of the government of Guyana today remains consistent with its original position, that the only authority to make the final determination is the Guyana Revenue Authority. Therefore, after examining all the facts, it is clear that Mr. Gosai acted without the requisite authorization to engage EEPGL and provided inadequate advice.
The Natural Resources Minister said he has since asked his permanent secretary to take the necessary disciplinary measures. He did not disclose what those measures would entail. He also said systems will be established to ensure no repetition of the lapse in the future. Last week, Vice President Barra Jagdeo announced that the government was conducting a full probe into the controversy. Jagdeo, who overlooks the oil and gas sector, has distanced himself completely from the $211 million reduction in the questionable expenses for the oil company. The political opposition believes he was part and parcel of all decision-making that led to the embarrassing situation, which has cost the country millions of dollars. The story continues on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
My lord, I just love to shop in this store. My customers, them gonna love all these things. So many different things in one place. Household items, electronics, toys, stationery, confectionery, exercise equipment, shoes and clothes for men, women and children, school things, costume, jewelry, perfume, makeup. Oh, look, the makeup!
Giftland Office Max, Guyana's favorite department store. Having your own car means peace of mind.
Having your own car means comfort and convenience.
Having your own car means freedom to get there on your own time.
It's Deal on Wheels at Republic Bank. It's time to get that new vehicle or upgrade to a better one with Republic. Super low rates and low down payment. Up to 8 years to repay and great prizes. Come in to Republic Bank today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors that me crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavors. Bust the flavors.
Welcome back. Well, hours after the government announced that it will be moving to take disciplinary action against the head of the petroleum unit, Bobby Gosai, over the Exxon audit fiasco, the opposition said it is convinced that the petroleum unit's head is being made a scapegoat to cover up the actions of more senior government officials. The petroleum unit at the Ministry of Natural Resources had slashed the $214 million in questionable expenses incurred by the ExxonMobil company to $3 million. It was the Guyana Revenue Authority in its audit that flagged the $214 million that Exxon was claiming. The reduction was reportedly done after a meeting between Exxon and the petroleum unit head. Leader of the opposition, Aubrey Norton, today said the entire controversy smells of corruption.
What I do know is that the government is throwing him under the bus to protect the political directorate that has responsibility to ensure that a proper audit is done, etc. And to come now and to tell us some public servant named Gosai is responsible is ridiculous. It's an attempt to hide the corruption. It is an attempt by Barra Jackdio to protect himself and the government at the expense of a public servant.
Mr. Norton said it was not until the opposition and the media raised an alarm that the People's Progressive Party Civic launched an investigation into the matter. He is not buying the apparent findings of the investigations.
We do not believe that the public servant is responsible. This is cost recovery. This is dealing with what we will get at profits. That surely cannot be left to a public servant. It has to be the responsibility of the political government. The public servants give technical and other support. So to blame Mr. Gosai really and truly is throwing him under the bus.
Describing the members of the government as authoritarians, Norton said Gosai may be too afraid to come forward with the truth. And weighing in on the matter, opposition member of parliament Ganesh Mahipal said as a public servant, Gosai could not have acted in isolation.
Mr. Gosai could not have operated in isolation. He had to be given directive, and it would have had to be the knowledge of the permanent secretary that all of this is happening.
The Natural Resources Minister said in a meeting with him and the Vice President Barra Jackdio in July, Mr. Gosai reported that the initial sum was reduced to just over $11 million and then further reduced to $3 million. But MP Mahipal raised new questions as to why the Vice President and the Natural Resources Minister and the head of the petroleum unit were even involved in the auditing process.
So if the Guyana Revenue Authority is the final body to make a pronouncement on the issue, why was Barra Jackdio and Vikram Bharat engaged in a meeting with Mr. Gosai? Because that is what Vikram said here. He said in a meeting with the Vice President and I reported that Mr. Gosai reported that the initial sum was reduced to US dollars 11,497,140. Then further down, to 3,414,853.68 US dollar. So Vikram and Bharat, both Bharats, they knew what was happening at the level at the Ministry of Natural Resources.
The Natural Resources Minister is adamant that the head of the petroleum unit acted without the requisite authorization to engage with the oil company, and they also blame him for providing inadequate advice. The chairman of the Mahdia Fire Commission of Inquiry, retired Major General Joe Singh, has summoned the Chief Education Officer Saddam Hussein and the former Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Home Affairs, Maytusan Thomas, to appear before the commission, after the two top-ranking officials failed to make an appearance this morning. Counsel to the commission, Kioma Griffith, told the commissioners that Hussein and Thomas were scheduled to testify this morning. However, without any explanation, they both failed to make an appearance.
We expected two persons to testify before you this morning. For reasons unbeknownst to me, they are not here. I had expected these persons to appear much earlier in the week, and for some reason they have not attended to this commission to answer questions.
Given the repeated failure of Hussein and Thomas to appear before the commission, Attorney Griffith called on the commission to invoke its powers under the Commission of Inquiry Act and summon the two government officials to make an appearance next Tuesday.
I'm therefore asking this commission to exercise its powers under the Act for summonses to be issued for Mr. Saddam Hussein, the Chief Education Officer, as well as Ms. May Thomas, who is the former Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs. I'm asking for summonses to be issued to these persons to appear before this commission.
After a brief consultation with the other commissioners, the chairman of the commission granted permission for the summons to be issued. The three-member commission has been investigating the circumstances surrounding that deadly fire that claimed the lives of 20 children back in May, when the Mahdia Secondary School female dormitory went up in flames. The Commission of Inquiry has already heard from a number of key witnesses, including survivors from the blaze and officials of the Guyana Fire Service. Now let's tell you that in a statement on the meeting last week between U.S. congressional representatives and an APNU AFC opposition team, U.S. Congress Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries said the meeting discussed a vision for a Guyanese economy and a society that is inclusive, developed and equitable for everyone, including the Afro-Guyanese community. Congressman Jeffries is the highest-ranking Democrat in the U.S. Congress. In a statement on his official Facebook page last evening, Mr. Jeffries said the members of the opposition underscored the importance of lifting people out of poverty by ensuring economic growth, promoting infrastructure development, and strengthening democratic institutions. The U.S. Congressman also stated that the opposition leader, Aubrey Norton, expressed concern with racial inequalities that he felt needed to be addressed and the importance of equal protection under the law for all Guyanese. Congressman Jeffries said the U.S. congressional representatives will continue to engage with their Guyanese counterparts and other regional neighbors and encourage the government and the opposition to work together to ensure that all Guyanese citizens, regardless of race or ethnicity, benefit from the growth underway in the country. The meeting with the U.S. officials took place last week during an official visit to the U.S. by a parliamentary opposition team, which was headed by opposition leader Aubrey Norton.
You're also aware that we met with Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries and the Congressional Black Caucus. Those meetings were very fruitful. I sense by now you have recognized that Barra Jack and the PPP were trying to create a narrative that we did not meet anybody and the nonsense that are concomitant of Barra Jack. I think the congressional leaders have released the pictures and have taken their position, and it should be clear to all and sundry that we did meet with them and we had a successful engagement and we were able to outline the vision of the APNU AFC for Guyana, which is a vision that is centered on the improvement of the lives of the people, while pointing out that the People's Progressive Party's vision is one to enrich the few, especially its elites, its families, friends, and favorites.
The week before the meeting with the opposition, the U.S. congressional representatives also met and held discussions with President Irfan Ali and the government team. Earlier this year, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken paid a visit to Guyana and held talks separately with the government and the opposition. The U.S. has been encouraging a more inclusive governance in Guyana.
Hits and Jams Entertainment, along with Moet Champagne, brings to you Eden, a premium white and gold garden party on Sunday, October 15 at the Promenade Gardens. Show up for Eden in your white and gold or toga outfit and experience a garden party with amazing decor, food, drinks, and great vibes. Eden! Get a free toga outfit with every purchase of a general ticket for only $5,000 while stocks last. Also, get one free bottle of Moet, one cocktail table, and a toga outfit for only $15,000. Eden is brought to you by Moet Champagne and Hits and Jams Entertainment. Eden!
Audits are a routine practice for any business, more so in the international petroleum industry. These audits ensure that the expenses incurred by ExxonMobil are aligned with cost to recoverable expenditures. Guyana has been working to ensure that audits are done in a transparent manner, utilizing international and local expertise.
Are you looking for men's suits for that wedding, prom, or special party? Or maybe you need to update your wardrobe with a modern fit or a new color for work. Search no more, because John Lewis Styles is the perfect men's suit store. Come see us on Waterloo Street, and our friendly staff will help you choose the perfect size, color, and fit. Complement that suit with a stunning shirt and tie, matching bow tie and suspenders, cufflinks, or even a pair of shiny dress shoes. You will love the way you look. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Having your own car means peace of mind.
Having your own car means comfort and convenience.
Having your own car means freedom to get there on your own time.
It's Deal on Wheels at Republic Bank. It's time to get that new vehicle or upgrade to a better one with Republic. Super low rates and low down payment. Up to 8 years to repay and great prizes. Come in to Republic Bank today.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
The Guyana Power and Light Company has made a decision to remove 15 large businesses from its grid during peak hours. And according to Vice President Bara Jagdeo, that decision will save at least 30,000 other customers from frequent power outages. During a press conference yesterday at his party's headquarters, Mr. Jagdeo said businesses refused a GPL request to voluntarily leave the grid during peak hours. And as such, a decision was taken by the power company to disconnect them nightly during the peak hours.
GPL has decided to take them off because the alternative is, should we discomfort 15 or 20 business who are using large amounts of power, who can self-generate, who are getting subsidized power still for maybe 20 hours a day, and they only have to come off in the peak? Or should we discomfort 30,000 people, where you have to small users? And we have opted to say, you got to come off. You're still getting a lot of benefits from the system.
The government claims that the GPL electricity grid has become overcrowded with a number of companies that previously generated their own electricity turning to the GPL system.
So it makes sense for a lot of people who are self-generating to turn off their generators now, who are generating in the past, and come on to the grid, the GPL grid, including the big users. So they have now flooded over to the grid because they're getting subsidized electricity from the grid. So that has pushed up the demand.
And the vice president said while a solution is in sight, the current trend of blackouts is worrying him.
So I'm hoping, because I'm trying, it's not my sector, but at least it worries us too. It bothers me. I can understand people. You know, I have a generator, but but I go around the country and I know how it feels.
The Guyana Power and Light Company is expected to add additional power to its system by mid-December to avert a holiday crisis. Well, if it's not a problem with the supply of power, it's a problem with the supply of water. Now, the Guyana Water Incorporated is urging citizens across the country to conserve water as the effects of the El Nino weather phenomenon are being felt across Guyana. Today, GWI said it is working closely with the Civil Defense Commission and the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority and other agencies to monitor the situation. The CEO of GWI, Sheikh Bak, said the company wants to appeal to residents to be more prudent and cautious in the use of water during this period, so that everyone could enjoy an adequate level of service. According to the CEO, several hinterland regions have been hit hard by the current El Nino weather pattern, and they are facing a depletion in supply of water from the creeks and springs. At Salbora in Region 8, the creek as a water source has been depleted by 80%, and at Mahdia, where there are 2 wells, the residents are still encountering some hardships. As an emergency measure, Mr. Bak said that GWI is moving to drill a new well in Mahdia to bring relief to the residents of the township and surrounding communities. In Region 1, Mabaruma, Matthews Ridge, Port Kaituma, and other areas are also experiencing low water supply due to the depletion of springs there, even though wells are in those subregions. Mr. Baksh also reported that the static level of wells in Camarang and Jawala in Region 7 has reduced and the hand-dug wells in Region 9 are drying up. On the coastal belt, the demand for water by households and farming communities has also been high, but the wells in this part of the country have been producing water at maximum, he said. Aside from El Nino, GWI said power outages from GPL have been affecting the water supply in all of the regions on the coastal belt, as well as contractors damaging water infrastructure in different parts of the country. This evening, the Guyana Fire Service announced that it has completed its probe of that fire which gutted a 3-story apartment building in Charlestown 2 nights ago. The fire service said it has been determined that an electrical fault in one of the apartments ignited the blaze. The fire service explained today that the blaze was caused by what it called a slack connection to electrical points, which caused overheating and resulted in a breakdown of the insulation, leading to arcing and sparkling and the subsequent ignition of nearby combustible material. A total of 15 persons have been affected by the blaze as they watched their belongings go up in smoke. Among those affected is former national footballer Gregory Jackie Chan Richardson. He was reportedly at a football practice match when he learned of the fire at the apartment building where he lived. The fire service said that in addition to the building that was completely gutted, 2 additional buildings, a motor car and a motorcycle, were also damaged as a result of the heat from the blaze. The fire service is encouraging homeowners to be vigilant in their homes and to install fire detectors and fire alarm systems. Persons are also being reminded to never overload their electrical outlets or use illegal connections. Electrical cords should also not be placed on carpets, beds, or close to curtains, since they are all combustible materials. The fire service is also encouraging citizens to unplug appliances when not in use.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyoil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyoil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyoil has now repositioned itself as market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
Sorry.
Jack?
Hey!
Boys, where you going with all that speed?
Yo, today's the 15th. My NIS contributions are due, and I ain't even get the forms as yet.
Hold on. You mean to tell me that you're not aware that all self-employed persons can now make their NIS contributions using the MMG app from the comforts of their homes and offices?
Really? I just pay my bills using MMG,
Yes, Jack. And the thing's simple. All you have to do is open the app, select Pay Bills, Government Services, NIS, and Pay. They will prompt you to enter your NIS number, the month you're paying for, and the amount.
So I don't need to submit any form?
No. The only time you submit in a form is when you're making a claim.
Wait. I could make a claim too?
Oh, no, man. Jack. You didn't know that? Yes. All self-employed persons are entitled to all benefits from NIS. Well, except for the industrial benefits. And here's the good part. All of their forms, you can download them from the NIS website.
Well, girl, I'm really glad I bumped into you.
Anyhow, make sure you pay your bills later.
Later? I gotta sit down right here and pay my contributions first.
Take care.
For further information, please visit the website at www.nis.org.gy, the National Insurance Scheme Facebook page, or your nearest NIS office.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor of the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Look who's in the mix now. The new Buster Soda Water. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 artificial flavors. 100% refreshing. Taste Buster Soda Water today. Buster Soda Water. Now available for only $120.
With your regional and international news tonight, I'm Svetlana Marshall. In the region, the United States is restarting the deportation of Venezuelans who crossed the U.S.-Mexico border unlawfully as part of attempts to curb a record number of migrant crossings, the Homeland Security Secretary said on Thursday. Reuters, in a report, said President Joe Biden, who took office in January 2021, has faced historic illegal border crossings, fueled by a sharp rise in recent years of migrants fleeing economic and political turmoil in Venezuela. According to the report, Washington reached an agreement with Venezuela to repatriate Venezuelans who do not take advantage of the lawful pathways and instead arrive irregularly at its border. The new policy takes immediate effect. The announcement was made on the same day Biden, a Democrat, said he would expand sections of the border wall, a signature policy of his Republican predecessor Donald Trump, who is the frontrunner to face him in the 2024 presidential election. Hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans have trekked through the treacherous jungle region known as the Darien Gap to reach the U.S.-Mexico border in the past 2 years. A supermarket security guard was shot and killed last night, Trinidad Express reported today. Shami Sugrim was gunned down on the compound of the Bentwood branch of Massey Stores in Chaguanas. Police do not think the killing was connected to a robbery attempt. Sugrim, 61, died in the parking lot. People who knew Sugrim describe him as a hard-working and friendly individual. At a press conference on Thursday, police officers said there were 454 homicides for the year, and 54 were solved. Trinidad and Tobago has a homicide solve rate of 12%. And finally tonight, international news. Imprisoned Iranian human rights activist Narges Mohammadi has won the 2023 Nobel Peace Prize, BBC said in a report. Announcing the decision, the Nobel Committee said Ms. Mohammadi, 51, was honored for her fight against the oppression of women in Iran. Her struggle has become a tremendous personal cause, the committee chairwoman Barrett Reese Anderson said. Ms. Mohammadi is currently serving a 10-year jail term in Iran's notorious Evin prison in the capital, Tehran. Iran has responded by accusing the Nobel Committee of meddling. State news agency IRNA said given the prize to a person who has been convicted under the laws of a country and is currently serving a prison sentence can only be called politicizing the concept of human rights and acting in a meddling manner. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.